Hello. Okay, so today is August. I'll turn this off. It's not working. Today is August 19th, 2017. And we're going to talk about. Just go, dude. We're going to talk about conversation. Conversations that we're having with other people usually. At least that's what this recording is going to be about. And this is something that I'm experiencing, so that's why I feel like I'd like to share. Sometimes we get into conversations with people about life and human nature, the state of the world, and where we are, where we might be headed, and stuff like that. And let's just say the kind of the main thought that came to me while I pulled this device out, which was somebody did some real graffiti up there. It's weird looking. Okay. Anyway, the thing that came to me was when we're involved in conversations with others and we feel resistance towards some of the things that we have stated, we have, some of us, including myself, have had that knee-jerk reaction of giving explanations and really explaining where we're coming from, why we're saying the things we're saying, and we feel passionate about the things that we're feeling and sharing, and there is the need for pulling back sometimes and not being aggressive with having to explain or justify even the reasons why we feel the way we feel and the things that we say, the things that we're saying. And that's important because there's a difference between having a discussion or a conversation with someone where the energy is moving in a circle, so to speak, right? Where there's a flow of energy that's happening, and so you can feel that. This isn't working either. You can feel that, where this flow, this movement, and I'm just watching pedestrians cross the street and blocking traffic. That's all. We all do it. No, we don't all do it, but I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so when we don't feel that kind of free energy, that movement, that's an indication to pull back some, so to speak. Not be aggressive. When there's resistance, that's the opposite of flow. the saying, that's not to say that, oh, I can't talk to this person ever anymore or whatever. Everything's in the moment. And in the moment when we feel this resistance, and we don't even mean resistance in a way like I'm trying to bring in the light and you're just about darkness. That's not what resistance means. Resistance just means, in this context, when the flow is interrupted. Because it could very well be that my, quote, understanding or knowledge of a thing is not, maybe it needs a little adjusting. And maybe in conversation, the other person might say something and there's kind of that thing where it's like, okay, wait, no, this isn't exactly, we're not on the same page anymore. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the person on the other end is full of shit and, they're throwing up this resistance because they don't want to hear the truth. No, absolutely not. It could be the other way around. And it's not even about judgment, who's right, who's wrong. It's about when we feel that resistance, for whatever reason, instead of being dogged and like, I'm going to drive my point home. No, don't drive your point home. That's a waste of energy and it's out of flow. And now you're on your own, and now it can quickly become an ego thing. So what you do is, not you, but what I'm learning to do is just step back and realize, you know what? That's what needs to happen right now. Otherwise, this could potentially turn into a mess. Right? Damn it. So, and that's a great idea, because if it's at that point and you feel that, it's a subtle feeling, but it's there. And then you make a decision. Do I just keep talking and beating this horse to death? Or do I draw back and step away from that, not from the person necessarily, but from that point? And even maybe acknowledge, say, you know what? That's something to think about. And not just saying it, but really knowing it. Because later, when you really do step away, you're going to be able to process those parts of the conversation where it just kind of got off the track. And in the coming hours or days or whatever, life might show you things to help you to realize, oh, okay. Because none of us is perfect. None of us has all the answers, and we should never look at any other person like, okay, I'm up here and they're down there, and there's not anything that they could say or do that can help me because they're in a pitiful situation, their own selves. No. We can learn from everyone. And if you think of a person that you're just like, ugh, guess what? You can learn from that person too. We don't know what exactly that is. So in the coming days or whatever, life might reveal things to you through your life experience and help you to see, oh, okay, so yeah, that more kind of, and not even that you were, quote, wrong about something, but just that there was more light that could be shedded on the understanding that you had, because nobody has all the answers. And even when we do have some semblance of understanding, that can still even be refined more. So that's what we're saying, that we've gotten to this place of this is right, this is wrong, and this is right, and I'm looking at the totality of its rightness or its beneficiality or whatever. But no, we don't see the fullness of a thing. We can't see the fullness, and another person's insights can help us to understand aspects of whatever that we previously didn't have. We didn't have this kind of understanding. And then even then, depending on who you are, where you are, and when you are, it can be refined more and more and more, depending on circumstances and all of that. It's always movement. There's no stagnation. Is not going to work, because it'll work in this moment, but guess what? 5 minutes later, there's some movement in that thing that helps us in that moment. So it's kind of hard to articulate that, but anyway, so that is something that I'm learning about right now. Basically, to just shut up sometimes and get, and we got to be hard on ourselves sometimes and just say, you know what, get down off your high horse, jump off the soapbox, pay attention. You don't know it all. And I don't really think of myself as a person who is just obvious, like, wow, she just thinks she knows everything. I don't feel like that, but that is something that could pose a problem. When you think you're being helpful, sometimes if it's not in flow, then that means that spirit is not in the mix, which means it's not going to do the thing that maybe deep inside yourself you hope it'll do, where there's some coming together with another person. You can't because spirit is the binding force of souls, and without that spirit in there, it's not gonna happen, no matter how well intentioned we are. You see, it becomes something else. It has to become something else. So that's something that I'm kind of learning right now. And it was so funny because per usual, this recording is coming from a recent experience. It was yesterday, and it was funny because this morning, as soon as I woke up and let myself get into this kind of thinking space. Like when I first wake up, it's just like, don't think, just kind of wake up first. Don't go right to thoughts. But when I got to that place where I started thinking, I was like, oh yeah, yesterday I really kind of did the thing, and I need to pull back. I need to not do that so much. That's not helpful. And when I was checking my phone for messages, but when you first open up your phone and stuff, this thing came up, and it was a horoscope thing, but it basically said what I had just told myself, which is, no matter how well-meaning you are, sometimes you get in the way with all your talking and all your trying to, whatever it is, it's not, at some point it's not going to work. And I was like, God damn, the universe. I was like, yeah, I know, but that was just a confirmation. It's to show that, I was really feeling that energy, like, yeah, you know what, that's not going to work anymore. Not that it ever did, but it was so obvious. So anyway, that's the thing for today. A lot of garage sales going on, but I have another destination right now. We'll see, maybe later, because y'all know we don't pay full price for nothing. Just kidding. I hope that was encouraging or beneficial for someone out there. And as always, I want to wish you guys much love. Thank you.